everyone, welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alyssa Cotten and I provide emotional and mental support for coaches, counselors, content creators so they can thrive in their life. So today I want to talk about a new buzzword that you might have heard of, you might not have heard of, but it's called lifestyle freedom. You might have heard of financial freedom, but today we're going to talk about lifestyle freedom, how to achieve it, how to figure out what that looks like for you. So stay tuned to the end to figure out if lifestyle freedom is what you are after. Lifestyle freedom. Ooh, kind of sounds intriguing, doesn't it? I just recently learned about the term lifestyle freedom and I was so intrigued by it, so I did so much research. So I'm going to break it down for you today. I was walking and I was listening to a podcast about a lady talking about how everyone was after financial freedom, which is this idea that you are no longer living to work and that you're not just dependent on everyone else's job to get an income, that you might have passive income or you have income streams or you are doing the FIRE movement where you're financially independent, retire early. Financial freedom has been around for a long time, and this idea that you no longer want to be living paycheck to paycheck, things that are connected to that. But I recently just learned about the term lifestyle freedom and I was so intrigued. So I did some research. So lifestyle freedom is creating the life of your vision. So no longer living the life that society says that you should have, no longer living the life that other people should tell you to have. This is dependent on what you want. And the nice thing that I really was intrigued by the idea of going after lifestyle freedom is that it's not dependent on income. And what we know about financial freedom is it's totally based off income, and that this idea that you have to make so much money now, save so much so that one day you can retire and live off of your savings or your dividend funds or your retirement or whatever it may look like. But lifestyle freedom is about cultivating that in the present moment and working towards the life that you want on your terms. And so I was like, let me figure out how to really dig a little bit deeper and to figure out what it is that I want that's not really dependent on income. So there's so many things that we can do that have nothing to do with income. For example, the time we wake up, the food we eat, the time we go to bed, where we live. So many of those things are not dependent on income, yet we're so focused on that financial freedom. How can we live in the moment with this lifestyle freedom and create this life that we want today? So I'm gonna go over 4 questions that you can ask yourself to figure out what you want for your life, for your vision that you have for you. And what I really liked about the idea of a lifestyle freedom is that it's really dependent on your dreams and goals. It's not dependent on what society says you have to have it be. For example, lifestyle freedom isn't dependent on how much money you make a year, or it's not dependent on how much your bills are, or your income, or your payments, or your taxes, or whatever that is. It's truly just what you want your life to look like day to day. So the 4 questions that you can ask yourself, so you might want to pause the video, get a pen, get a paper, and we are going to dive deep into these different questions. So I've got my notes here, so I'm going to go after the first one, and the first question you're going to ask yourself is, what do you want in life? And this might be like, whoa, Alyssa, I just want to be happy. Okay, perfect. What is going to make you feel happy? Does that mean you don't have a mortgage and you're just traveling everywhere? Does that mean you have a tiny house? Does that mean you have multiple houses? Ask yourself, what do you want in life? And I don't want you to limit yourself based off your current reality today. I want you to really dig deep and ask yourself, what do I want in life? So if you look back, let's say you're 85 years old and you're looking back and you're explaining to someone how your life was, what do you want that to look like? Do you want to have a big family? Do you want to have no family? Do you want to be in a relationship? Do you want to be solo? What do you want in life? So take a moment, pause, and ask yourself and just kind of brain dump all the things that you want in your life. So the question number 2, now that we've identified number 1, is ask yourself, does this involve a certain income amount? So the life that you want to create, does that involve a certain income amount? For example, is that dependent on more income than you're making currently, or is it even less income that you're making currently? Maybe the life you want has nothing to do with income. Maybe you want to live close to your family, or you want to be able to travel, or you don't even want to own anything and just the clothes on your back so you can travel the world and just work wherever you're wanting to work. So ask yourself, this lifestyle that you want, is that dependent on a certain income level? And if that is, are you there currently, or do we need to make some changes in your current life to reflect that income that will help support this lifestyle freedom? So again, the lifestyle freedom is creating the life that you want, regardless of what society says, regardless of what people say, regardless of any of those norms and expectations from people. And lifestyle freedom, in my opinion, is a little bit more holistic than financial freedom, because financial freedom is all about having enough money to not worry about where the money's coming from, where the money's going, and that just seems very frivolous in my point of view. But lifestyle freedom for me seems to be a little bit more holistic. It looks at all the areas of your life. It looks at your diet. It looks at where you live. It looks at what kind of clothes you buy. It looks at where you're working, who you're working for. So this lifestyle freedom is to be able to make the choices in all those areas in your life, regardless of what anybody else says. So if your current reality does not reflect where you want to be, and you don't have that income to support that lifestyle freedom, ask yourself, one day a week, could you have maybe a schedule that mirrors that? So something that I've worked towards, which has been really luxurious in my opinion, is one of the lifestyle freedoms that I wanted to have was to wake up without an alarm, to just wake up when my body was ready to wake up. And as a result of that, I make sure I don't see anyone before noon. Obviously, I'm not waking up at noon. I usually get up around 5 or 6, and I get up pretty early. But it is such a luxury to be able to wake up without an alarm. And that has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with income. I still work my 8 hours. I just do it later in the day, and I work evenings because I wanted that luxury of waking up without an alarm. So ask yourself, what are these things that you're wanting to do? And if you're not there right now, one day a week, could you have more areas in your life mirror what you want that to look like? For example, if you would love to be someone that gets green juice and you go to the coffee shop, but you can't afford that, could you at home make that green juice and make that same designer coffee, so that way you are starting to live this lifestyle freedom that you want on your terms in your current reality? So what happens is, as we start to cultivate glimpses of what we want to attract in our life and what we're working towards, we're able to see a more seamless transition versus what you might call as like a quantum leap to this whole new lifestyle. So with that lifestyle freedom, being able to pick one day a week or even one afternoon, morning, evening, where you really mirror that idea, what you wrote before, what you want in your life. So picking that one day a week can really be helpful. I started off with just the weekends of waking up without an alarm when I used to have to work really early. I used to work at 8, and that might not be early for you, but for me that is very early. So I used to not be able to, because I had to get the alarm so I could get my workout in and get my morning routine done before I went to work. And so on the weekends, I would practice that lifestyle freedom of waking up without an alarm and just listening to my body's need for rest or not need for rest, and wake up when my body felt ready. So ask yourself, what could you do to start to incorporate some of those lifestyles that you could start to mirror that lifestyle freedom that you want to create in your life? So the fourth question in regards to lifestyle freedom is, if your current reality isn't encompassing lifestyle freedom, what are some of the steps that you need to take today to get there? Does that look like you need to rearrange your day? So maybe you need to get up a little bit earlier so you can have some more you time to really create that life. Does that mean you need to sell your mortgage so that way you can travel the world and not feel trapped or connected to living at one place for the rest of your life, or even 30 years, or whatever that may be? But what are some steps that you could take today, right now, after this video, that's going to get you one step closer to that life, that vision you encompassed, that vision that you shared in the first question of what do you want your life to look like? And then ask yourself, what's blocking me from going there? And a lot of times what blocks us is actually our unhealed traumas. And that's something that I specialize in. And as I specialize in helping people heal their unhealed wounds, their traumas, so that way they can go after their goals and dreams without fear of what society says, their family says, or even what their limiting beliefs say. And if that's something you want to learn a little bit more about, definitely book a free call in the link below on how to work with me and to see if working with me is in alignment with your lifestyle freedom of healing your wounds and your anxiety so you can go after your goals and live that dream life that you are wanting to live. So let's recap. So lifestyle freedom is creating the life that you want, not dependent on income, but just dependent on the lifestyle you want. Do you want to be someone that only works a little bit because you would rather be out in your own garden? Do you want to have a sustainable living where you have your own garden and you hunt and you fish, and so that way you can have enough food for winter? Or are you someone that wants to travel the world and you don't want to have a home base, you want to just be able to travel? So asking yourself, what do you want? And then start to live that life. And obviously you can't do an overhaul overnight. That could be possible, but might not be reality. Is what are some things that you can do currently that's going to help mirror that soon to be reality that you are trying to go after in your life? And remember, it's scary to live the life you want because we are so wired and programmed to do what society tells us to go after. Those basic things such as get your driver's license at 16, graduate at 18, go to college, get married, have babies, XYZ. And the beauty of the world that we live in today is that so many of us are questioning that status and that norm. And we're saying, actually, I don't want that. I want to live this life, or I want to live that life. And at any moment you can change and you can pivot. But reminding yourself, this is your life, so why not spend it going after your goals and creating that lifestyle freedom to have the luxuries of what you want, whether that's time or family or really yummy food, and just creating that life that makes sense for you. I'd love to hear in the comments below, what is the life that you are trying to cultivate? Let me know down below. And I'd love for you to follow me on Instagram, Alyssa_Cotten. I do lots of behind the scenes, reels, and other things that can help you on your mental health journey. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. I release videos out every single Monday. I hope you have a great day. Bye.